that was one of the better offensive performances you guys have ever had?
I can't remember a better inning than that. That was pretty impressive all the way through. Guys came and finished the job today, which I was obviously excited about. They swung the bats as good as they have all year long today. So that was nice to see.
Take us through your emotions in that second inning, just seeing the offense explode for 10 runs.
Emotions, I mean, I don't know. I just was kind of trying to manage the game. I mean, they just kept hitting them out of the ballpark. There wasn't much to manage. So just let them go and keep getting pitches to hit and stay on them and keep the foot on the gas. I don't ever remember seeing, what did we say, was it six? Six in one inning. I don't think I've ever been a part of something like that. And same guys going back to back in the same inning. That was pretty impressive.
Going with Barrett instead of Jaden today, was there anything behind that, or you just wanted Jaden to come out of the bullpen?
Yeah, we think about these things and try to figure out the best matchup. They're better hitters at the top of the lineup, or usually go left, and then the switch hitter right and then left, and those four have been, they're better hitters. We just figured if we could turn Robinson around right-handed, we feel he's a little bit better hitter left-handed, and we just kind of worked backwards, knowing that we had Carlone for at least two and Lucas Kelly for at least two if we needed. We figured if we could just get through 4 or 5 with those two guys, then we should be good, at least to get us to the finish line. So first guy out, we wanted Barrett to face their lefties, and we just thought that it was a better matchup at the top of the lineup, and hopefully he can kind of get through them twice, and then we go to Alba in the middle part of the lineup for that, the bottom and then the top, and see if we can get through 5 with those two and then go from there. So that was kind of the thought. It wasn't that Jaden lost the job on Sunday or anything. We just liked that matchup a little bit better against these guys.
What have you seen from Easton's growth from when you first took the field as a true freshman to now with just a month left in the season?
He's getting stronger as the season's going on. This was on fairly short rest, and that was the other point that I was going to make, is we knew Easton wasn't going to go long based on him starting on Tuesday, and had 55, 60 pitches. So, it was kind of more of an opener type deal. But he's progressively getting better and better and stronger throughout the season. The velocity is picking up. That just the overall bite on his breaking ball, you can just tell from the side, has gotten better. Arm speed's better. He's just kind of looking a lot more comfortable out there.
Obviously, Carlone was a guy you look to most out of the bullpen, but how have you just seen the guys behind them pick up their play here recently?
Like meaning defensively?
Yeah.
The guys he's throwing with a tremendous amount of confidence right now, and when he comes in the game, everyone gets excited because he's been dealing, and it's fun to play defense behind that, even though they haven't really touched the ball because he's punching a lot of tickets right now. So, but yeah, he's just, his momentum right now is contagious, and hopefully that spills over into some of those other guys down in the pen. Lucas Kelly's been throwing the heck out of it. So between those two back-end arms, that's great. Shafe's been throwing the ball well. We can just spill into those middle inning guys to bridge the gap to them. That would be it'd be nice down the stretch.
Coach, sweeping a team is always extremely difficult, but what does it mean to do that at the end of April?
We're not going to complain about it. We just got to keep piling up wins, and for us, it's taking one at a time. And just really the emphasis for our guys has been showing up ready to play every day, and come with your A game. Even though we took the first 2, job's not finished. We got to come and win today. All these wins are big. So as long as we can continue to take that approach and that mindset, and just can keep winning games down the stretch here, and more importantly, just play to our abilities. Today was obviously an offensive outburst today, but it's nice to start seeing the bats heat up a little bit and get to where we think they're capable of. Not that I expect 8 home runs a night, but just starting to swing the bats the way that contact points are getting to where they're supposed to be. catching the ball out front a little bit more, swinging at good pitches, not chasing below the zone as much today in the last few days. So as long as we can continue to work through those things and stay sharp on them, I like our chances.
Ian said earlier that earlier in the year they were playing not to lose, but now they've started to play to win. How have you just seen their mentality change throughout the course of the season?
They're taking on a little bit of a different mindset. That stays within our clubhouse. We know what's going on, and these guys are feeding off of it right now. So I'm not going to go into any further detail than that, but our boys are playing a little chip on their shoulder. So, and it's nice to see.
Have you thought about, the point you are in the season? This is like where you guys got really hot last year, even though you didn't make the postseason. But have you thought about what that could do for this team to get really hot in the next bunch of days, given what happened last year and how you guys were able to really gain momentum at the end the last couple series?
No, I think you get hot by focusing on winning pitches, winning one game at a time. You can't look ahead and say, oh yeah, anybody can mathematically draw this out and say, well, let's win this. Okay, how are you going to win those many games? You have to show up and be ready to play every day. So it's back to the basics. It's not getting ahead of ourselves, staying within what we're capable of doing, and just really, like I said, in my mind, just focusing on getting our guys to play to the best of their ability. If we do that, we're going to get hot. I mean, there's no question about it. And I've said it all year. If these guys can reach their full potential at the right time, it's going to be a fun last month.
Coach, to piggyback off that, when you talk about, when you look at, playing complementary, like obviously the offense hitting like it is, like the pitcher's just getting out there and throwing, getting it right back to the offense. Have you been, how do you feel this team has this been one of the better teams you've been around that's been able to play that kind of complementary ball?
Well, I mean, that would be great if we could do that all the time, but that's how you keep momentum on your side, is when, if our offense is swinging the bat good, go out and man, really got to have an emphasis on getting that first hitter out and try to roll the inning and get our offense back to work. So, we've talked about it. We've talked about a lot of stuff, but that's one thing that's of importance for us. If we can continue to, complement each other, knowing that it's a team, it's not always going to be perfect, but keep that momentum going to where our offense goes to work and stays at the bat rack for a while. It makes it a lot easier.
With all the pregame ceremonies and the alumni being here usually on these days where they like to come in, you like to talk about how you guys represented the brand and represented the program. How do you feel the team did that today and overall this weekend?
I think they represented about as well as they could have tonight, offensively especially. They came out swinging the bat, so hopefully our alumni were entertained.
Brody Briggs, 2 home runs tonight. I think he threw a runner out in the first inning. What is it meant to have his flexibility behind the plate, not only being able to give Cromwick a night off, or him being the lefty versus Cromwick being a righty, while playing plus defense, knowing he'll give you a productive night at the plate every night? What is it kind of meant to have that flexibility throughout?
Well, those two have nice internal competition, I think, going on, to where, if you're swinging a stick, you're going to play. They both are playing great defense. They're both doing very good behind the plate. So, Briggsy's a kid that he wants to be in there every day, and Crom's a kid that wants to be in there every day. And I told them both that I don't want you to be any different. You're supposed to want to play every day. That's called being competitive. At the same token, I'm going to ride the lineup that I think gives us the best chance to win that day. So you guys both need to be ready. And Briggsy has been chomping at the bit to get back in there and made the most of his opportunity today. So, for me, it's, man, you want to be in there every day, show me. I don't write the lineup. You guys ultimately do based on your performance. So with his performance tonight, he'll probably be back in there Tuesday.
Acting and Kyle Walker had seen their chemistry translate from the middle infield with their plays on defense to the batter's box, with them being 1 and 2 right behind each other. How have you just seen their relationship grow from when they first came here, coming from different schools, both transfers, to now being that middle infield that you can always count on?
Those two have been their personalities are polar opposite, but they match so well in the middle. You got Walker, who's the Energizer bunny that just doesn't stop chattering and talking and always upbeat and energetic, and Matty's kind of more laid back and stone-faced and serious about stuff, but they are both leaders, which is really unique in how their styles of leadership are. And those two have just really gravitated toward each other on, kind of being that middle infield combo. And, both being first-year guys in our program have really stepped in and taken over big leadership roles as the season's gone on. And I've told them, hey, man, if you guys got to do it, step up and take it over. We're waiting on our guys that have been around here 3 or 4 years to take the bull by the horns. I'm not saying they're not doing it, but if they aren't going to step up completely, then you guys do it, right? We need leaders in this clubhouse. We need guys to be vocal. We need guys that are okay with calling each other. What's up, bud? Calling each other out and being okay with holding each other accountable. So for me, that's important that those guys do that, and they're playing well together in the middle, and they're both doing, offensively they're doing their thing as well. Sorry, we had a cameo. Eddie showed up.
Coach, in the 9th inning, even in a 9-run game, it felt like everyone was at the top step of the dugout. Kean was locked in on his at-bats in the box. Do you also attribute that to the mindset and how that's kind of grown over time?
Yeah, I mean, we knew it was at stake. If we scored there in the 8th, that it was, the 10-run rule was in effect. And but for me, again, most importantly is that they stay locked in throughout an entire game and stick with their approach. Whether or not 10-run rule is in effect or not, it's just that's how you play the game of baseball. You have to be locked in mentally and not give away at bats. So it's been a work in progress, but tonight was this weekend was a big step in the right direction.
Trent Pratt in the opposing dugout, I know he was there with you for a year, right, at ASU. Did you get a chance to talk to him and catch up a little bit? I know he was with Graham too, right?
Correct, yeah. Unbelievable person. Trent is one of the best. I think we were talking, I actually hosted him on his recruiting trip. It's amazing how fast that's gone, but a tremendous person, great coach. He's he'll get that place rolling. I'm confident in his abilities. He just is. He's got a fire. He was getting frustrated tonight, I think, with just because and I'm like, man, I've been there. I get it, and I get it a lot. So if I can ever be a resource for you, don't hesitate to pick up the phone and call me. But he's he's a great coach. He knows what he's doing. I think he'll be a very, very good staple there for years to come. So tremendous person. I'd let my kid play for him any day.
You got Josh Holliday. I don't know how well you know Josh Holliday, but obviously a former Sun Devil too. Has it been nice to catch up this year with a bunch of former ASU coaches who you've either visited or rolled into?
Well, we haven't seen Josh yet, but obviously I've been in touch with him in Big 12 meetings. We've seen each other there, and we played each other non-conference, 2 of the last 3 years, and another tremendous person that knows the college game extremely well and has had a lot of success. I'm not looking forward to seeing him yet until we finish our next few series, but when it's time, then I'll be looking forward to seeing him.
Thanks, Coach.